right. Well, hello, and thank you for watching Ask Ron, where Ron answers our Closers Club members each and every week. And as you can see, Ron is on vacation. How you doing out there, Ron?
I'm sitting here on the Columbia River, first day of my 9-day cruise, going from Lewiston, Idaho to Portland, Oregon, and all up and down the river. So I love these riverboat cruises. I never lose sight of land. And if it sinks, I don't have far to swim. So,
That's good.
only thing it is, it don't have gambling on here. And of course, that's why Beverly goes on cruises, but
Yeah.
not this time.
Yeah.
I'm on American Cruise Lines. If you guys want to look them up, they do a good job. The food is excellent, and the service is even more than excellent. So, not for everybody because it don't have a casino, and it don't have shows at night, but it does have good entertainment. There's a guy on every night that he's a historian. So I'm on the Lewis and Clark expedition route, and he tells us stuff that obviously I never heard before. So it's very educational as well. Uh, so far, so good. This is the second American cruise line I've been on, and then I've been on another one. Wasn't on bike. Oh, AMA cruise
Okay.
lines over in Europe. So anyway, you guys look into it. What are you working for anyway? Go have a
Yeah.
little fun.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got some good questions today.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, got some easy ones and one difficult one that I didn't even know the answer to. So I'm looking forward to hearing it. So first one here is from Steven in New York. He has
Mhm.
a simple question. Prior to knowing better, I purchased a couple of properties in my personal name. Since then, I've taken them out and put them in a land trust, but I still get calls from wholesalers wanting to know if I want to sell, and it still shows up on my credit report. Am I wrong to suggest that that shouldn't be the case?
No, yes, you are wrong. First of all, putting it in a trust has nothing to do with your credit report. If you went out to the bank and guaranteed a debt, it's going to stay on your credit report until you pay it off, which is the reason I tell you not to ever do it. And just to reiterate,
Yeah.
that's how you get in trouble. That's not how you build wealth. Buy houses without going down and getting a loan. And then nothing ever goes on our credit report. Now, as far as them pulling up your name, yeah, they pull up ours too. But uh, it's not hard to find the phone number of the person that's in charge, even if it's in a trust or an LLC, especially with our AI skip tracing that we have. And so I don't know what tool they're using, but they'll still find you because your phone number is still on the record.
Yep. All right. Jason from Illinois. He's pretty new to the Closures Club, and he's wondering what's the best way to have access to all your systems. I would like to do wholesaling, pretty house flipping, everything. What's the best value buy in the Closures Club, or do I have to access things? Or he's basically asking how does he get access to everything?
Well, you don't get access to everything. In some ways you do. There's a $59 level of that we used to be the Gold Club. And on there, you'll find hundreds of lessons, short lessons. In fact, you got one on there on IRA. That's at least an hour and 15 minutes long. You got another one on there on land trust, same thing. But you don't have every lesson I've ever produced on there. However, your best place for you to get is the Quick Start Real Estate School, fast as you can, because that's the lesson you need right there. That'll set your whole career up. And systems, we get the systems, you just got to plug and play. And then the little pieces, I think you even get some bonuses with that one. But look up wholesaling as well on there. See what I did on that because I don't remember. But we have a course on wholesaling. Right now it's on sale, I think, for, I better shut up because I don't really know. But you can call, write this number down, Stephen, 800-567-6128, and ask them what you're interested in, and because they're better equipped to answer that. There's too much stuff for me to remember. In fact, I don't even remember where I am today. Oh, I'm in Washington.
Okay, okay.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just outside of Idaho, almost where Yellowstone Park was. That's where
Wow,
we're leaving from.
gotcha. That's cool. All right, next one here, Tony and Angie. What's the biggest mistake you see investors make when pursuing a 1031 exchange, especially when they're under pressure to identify the new properties?
Well, I don't know that I know the biggest mistake, but you do have to identify them. But you got 45 days after your property sells, for crying out loud, and you can identify 10 houses. I know you're looking at my one house to three house uh, lesson that I did, which is, by the way, on the Gold Club site or Closer Club site. I got to get that Gold Club
Yeah.
out of my thinking here. So do you.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we've had it 15 years. It's going to be hard to change the name. Um, there's a lesson on, just put up there in the search box, 4 LLCs. And there's a lesson on asset protection and destruction there, but it also includes your IRA, solo 401, and so forth. Um, but what was the question? I forgot the second part.
Yeah, he's the president. The second part of is when using a 1031 exchange, how do you balance
Oh,
the tax
state.
benefits of deferral against the risk of forcing yourself into another acquisition that may not be the best deal available at the time?
Oh, well, you don't want to do that. You don't. If you had the property for more than a year, you're only paying 15% long-term capital gains anyway. And if you haven't had it more than a year, you just need to find. Look, you can take the money out of that sale and put it all in one house if you want to, on a down payment. You don't have to buy the house. You just put a down payment. And if you go to that, actually, I'm sorry, it's the exchange button, not the 4 LLCs. But make a note on that one too while you're at it, because that's a great lesson. 4 LLCs, and that's where I go through the lesson on that. And the point is, we take the cash, how you get out of the when you sell it, and put it into 3 different houses that you're buying with owner financing. Now, yes, you got 45 days to name them, but if none of them close, the worst happens is you pay income taxes on it. And if you don't use all of it and use part of it, you just pay the taxes on the part that you kept. See, this is not as much as a tax strategy as it is a hyper growth strategy. You go watch that lesson and you'll see why. Doing what that lesson teaches you, you can quadruple your asset value and you can quadruple your monthly income and you can get more money back out of the houses that you buy than you put into the exchange. So go watch it. I mean, tell you it's going to keep you up at night because you're going to see an incredible tool there. Literally, will grow. Grow your wealth so fast you won't believe it. So you go there. I can't do the whole lesson here, but you go there and you'll find out that there is a way. And mistake, I don't know. You make a mistake, and I guess you don't. I guess you don't find anything to name in the foreclosure, but that's not a giant mistake. That just means you pay the taxes that you would have paid if you didn't do the exchange. That's all.
Okay. All right. So Mike, Illinois, last question here. It's kind of lengthy, so I'm gonna take my time here. He came across two side-by-side properties in Chicago Heights. Both are in disrepair. They're asking 100K. He ran the comps worth 330. He thinks there's an opportunity to rezone from residential to industrial and significantly increase the value. He proposed a deal where they get an agreed strike price, and anything above that after rezoning, they split. They agreed to it. He pulled the profit participation agreement from the Closers Club and has a few questions regarding that. First one, Article 2 says profit is divided 25% to developer and 25% to the owner. Is that just an example or is that the actual split?
That whole thing is just an example. You can't trust any of the numbers in that thing, and you're probably going to have to take some language out of it for that matter. It's not meant for everybody to use as is. In fact, you don't even need to. Well, I would have to ask you: this mean you're going to get title to the property, or you're not going to ever take title? You're just going to be the agent with a contract to buy it. Actually, you better have that contract to buy it. You better have your attorney in on this one because this is too complicated. If you're going to do one of them partner participate, not partner, but whatever you
Profit.
call it, profit participation agreements. Yeah, there's too much in there. It has to be analyzed paragraph by paragraph. So you can't use it unless you fix it. And honestly, you may not even need it. Why don't you ask your real estate closing attorney what he thinks is best to handle it with? If you don't have a real estate closing attorney, you better get one before you enter into this deal.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, the second question he had asked for a termination date in case the owner has not received their strike price. How long of a period should I be going for? Maybe that's an attorney question as well. I don't know.
No, actually, that's a
Yeah.
seller question.
Okay. Okay.
Remember, we don't make offers. We ask them, how long can you give me on this thing? Because it's going to take some time to get this thing rehabbed and resold.
Got
And
it.
I say a minimum of 2 years. But if you have to do it in a year, you have to do it in a year, assuming you're not putting any money into it while you're doing it. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take to rezone it. And I don't know what it's worth after it's rezoned. So those are the first two questions you better find out the answers to, because it might not be worth your while rezoning it. If that house is worth 3.25, 350, and you get it for 100, I mean, that's a good enough deal on its own.
Yeah.
Depending on how many repairs it needs, but it can't need that many. And that's probably your best strategy rather than trying to rezone it. But that means you probably want to buy it. And if you want to buy it, you might going to use a private lender, get the money to buy it and fix it after you find out how much it costs to fix it. Because you're going to borrow the purchase price plus repairs, plus enough to cover expenses. And you're going to borrow with accruing interest so you don't make monthly payments on it while it's sitting there vacant. And you're going to borrow, well, I don't know, you're going to need at least a year balloon on it, probably 2 years. If you're getting your own private money, you'd make the terms. The lender will make them. You make them. And if sounds like you haven't been to my quick start school yet, and I got to tell you, man, you better get there, because you can make some big mistakes along the way when you're trying to guess your way through this system. So I got to get the basic training no matter what you do. Now you're looking at Adel down there. His family used to own 6 Denny's.
Yep.
Used to. That's your favorite word now, Adel, right?
Yeah, never again.
Sold them all. And frankly, what you got to do in real estate doesn't compare to what you got to do when you own a restaurant, and you can make 50 times more money with a lot less effort. So it's worthwhile for you to get trained. I wouldn't go buy a restaurant until I got trained. I've had 6 of them. I think my training is nearing the end. I don't want any more of them. I can tell you that.
Yep.
But when you compare what you have in front of you, the ability for you to make money with little or no risk and with little or no money compared to any other business out there, you've got to get trained first. I often joke that you can't learn how to run a restaurant by eating there.
Yes.
You better get
Very
behind
true.
the scenes.
Very true. Yep.
And we are your behind the scenes. So make a note to get to the Quick Start School, especially while we got it on sale half price right now, and throw in a couple of bonuses as well. Go to ronlegrand.com/QS. Is that
Yes,
it?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you read all about it.
All right. Well, while we're on the topic, let me get his last question in. The third question he has: ask for a termination fee amount from the owner to the developer. What's a reasonable number to put there?
There is no way to answer that question.
Okay.
None. And I don't think you should even ask for a termination fee if you're not buying the property. Remember, you buy the property, now that puts you at risk. If you don't buy the property, you've got nothing to lose. You're not going to spend any of your money trying to find out what it would take to get that. Well, you might hire an attorney to find out for you. Your attorney should get a hold of the city, find out what the chances are of upzoning that property. And then you're going to have somebody give you an idea what the value would be if, in fact, you pass the city test and they think you can get it done what you want, what you think you can get done. And of course, the attorney better ask them how long will it take to get that approved in this city nowadays. And then what is it worth when I do it? And you got the 2 biggest questions of your whole thing right there, because they're either going to make you go ahead or they're going to make you stop right there. That's called due diligence. Without due diligence, only an idiot would buy the property. I mean, an idiot. And every time I bought one, it ain't been many without due diligence. Guess what? I wished I hadn't bought it. I wish I bought it. They all work. I a couple of land deals here that, well, I did some due diligence, but when you out of my commercial boot camp, you'll have a whole list of things you need to do with due diligence on commercial. Commercial is one of the, it's the way to make big money, life-changing money. But it's got a lot longer due diligence process, and it's going to take some money up front to do the due diligence in commercial. However, nowadays you can do most of it right online. In fact, we just finished creating some videos called Finding Commercial Deals. And well, unless you're registered, though, you wouldn't get that anyway. So I better shut up. So learn the facts and get somebody that knows what they're talking about. Any real estate commercial broker can tell you what that property would be worth when it's zoned, whatever it is you're trying to get a zone. Cost you nothing.
All right. Well, that's all of our questions for today.
I'm thinking worst case for him is that they don't get it rezoned.
Yeah.
He's got, if his numbers are correct, you got a great deal.
He did. Yeah, that's what I told him too.
So, what would Adel and I do? The answer? What's the answer, Adel? What would we do with that property?
Wholesale it.
Wholesale it. Get in it, get out of it,
Yep.
get the money, and not lose a dime.
Yep.
All you need to do is put it under contract and then flip the contract.
Yes, sir.
And let's see if Adel, his numbers are true. Let's make up a repair number here.
Okay.
Let's say it cost, he didn't give us any idea how big it was or anything, the houses. Let's say it cost 60 grand each to fix. So you'd have 160 in it,
Yeah.
plus, plus taxes accruing and insurance and that so forth. If it's truly worth 3.25, I mean, I'd borrow about 175, which is a good loan to value loan ratio loan for your private lender. Now, what would we put it on the market for?
I'd probably say it's about 205, somewhere in there.
I'd say 2.25.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. 2.25. No, they got to spend the 50, so they'd bring it up to 275. That's probably too close. Actually, you're about right, about 205.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So you're telling me, well, it's 205, but that includes the repairs, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Then you're getting it under contract for 100. You'd be better off just getting it, put it down there for 150. Pick up an
Mhm.
easy $50,000 and not lay a hand on the property. Never close on it. Never pay any closing costs. Don't pay anything. You should be in and out of it in less than 30 days if your numbers are correct.
Yep. I agree.
That's exactly what you do with it.
Yep.
And you got two of.
Yeah. There's two properties on there too. So yeah, maybe
I
they might be
wonder.
much more.
Yeah, I wonder if it's separated lots or they're both on one lot or what. We just don't know. We're just guessing here. You
Yeah.
might want to fire that back and give us a really good description of what you got there.
Okay.
How many houses? And if you've got a picture showing where the houses are located on the lot, can we divide them? If one's behind the other one, that's probably not going to happen. But then he says it's worth 3.25. Is that one house or is that each or is that both of them combined? See, there's so much we don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure either.
Well, send us back everything you can think of that we're going to need and we'll let you know what you missed.
Perfecto.
Where should he send that? Where should he send that out?
He can send that. He's actually in the closures in the elite, so he can send it to the mentoring at globalpublishing.com or they ask at Ron Legrand. Either one will get it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I'd like to hear the rest of that story. I don't want you to lose a good deal here.
Yeah, he was asking me about it today again. I told him I was going to talk to you about this evening, so I'll get it to
Mhm.
him.
All right. Okay.
That's all I
So
got.
that's it.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm sitting out here on my patio. We're docked for the day. So, I gotta do what I gotta do and complete the
All
trip. All right. See you guys next
right.
week.
All right. Have fun.
Bye.
All right.